Good evening, I'm Courtney Bryant.
I'm Steve Savard in for Claire Kellett. It was a question of murder or self-defense in the trial of a man who shot and killed another man in a show-me's bar in Florissant last year.
55-year-old Neil Myers was charged with second-degree murder, first-degree assault, and armed criminal action in the February 2018 shooting. Tonight, the jury is still trying to come to a verdict after more than 5 hours of deliberation. Our Russell Kinsall was in court for closing arguments and is live tonight outside the courthouse in Clayton.
Well, right now, the jury is inside, still hard at work poring over the evidence. We know they asked to view the surveillance video from inside the business, and they wanted to look at lots of other of the evidence that was presented in the case this week. Now, there's no disputing that the man who was shot, Scott Berry, took a swing at Mr. Myers and that Myers shot him. The question is, did Myers fear for his life, or did he actually provoke the confrontation? Witnesses testified during the trial that the shooting of Scott Berry followed a discussion about police dogs that turned heated. During closing arguments, prosecutors said Neil Myers provoked a physical confrontation with this man to use deadly force. Prosecutors said Myers took his concealed firearm out of the holster and put it in his pocket as Berry was paying his bill, and that their conversation had ended. As Berry was leaving, witnesses testified that he said to Myers, "No hard feelings," but they said Myers started insulting Berry as he walked to the exit. In surveillance video, Berry can be seen turning around, walking back to Myers, and then was shot after swinging to hit Myers with what started as an open hand. Prosecutors said a slap or punch isn't worth killing someone over. The defense told the jury the situation was much different in its closing statement. Scott Rosenblum described the 324-pound Berry as a hulk of a man who came at Myers like an angry bull. The defense claimed Berry was agitated and had to be repeatedly calmed down by a friend. It claimed Berry had become unhinged and that this was an attack waiting to happen. About Myers, Rosenblum said he knew his very life was flashing before his eyes. A judge in the case instructed the jury that they'll have to weigh the evidence while considering Missouri's stand your ground law. The judge told the jury that the law does not require someone to retreat when defending themselves, and that deadly force cannot be used unless a person reasonably believes they're facing death or serious physical injury. Now, the jury was instructed if they're not convinced that this is a case of second-degree murder, they could decide on a lesser charge of voluntary or involuntary manslaughter. There's a lot for the jury to consider, and it appears that they are taking their time to thoroughly do just that. Live in Clayton, Russell Kinsall, News 4.